Highways to Fortune. Jake Morrison grew up in a small town in Arkansas, the son of a mechanic and a school secretary. He barely finished high school and went straight into trucking, hauling freight across endless highways of the United States. Life behind the wheel wasn't glamorous. Long nights, cheap diners, lonely roads. Jake often told himself he was just a trucker and nothing more. Yet deep down, he dreamed of something bigger, a way out of paycheck-to-paycheck living. The first mile. In his early 30s, Jake saved every spare dollar from his trucking jobs. While his friends spent money on new trucks or bar tabs, he drove his old rig into the ground, lived frugally, and studied every detail of the logistics business. He noticed one thing. Brokers took a huge cut between shippers and drivers. He thought, why can't a driver run the business himself? With $18,000 in savings, Jake bought a used trailer, got his own authority, and launched Morrison Freight LLC. At first, it was just him, one truck and a phone. 2. Hitting the road hard. Jake worked insane hours. He'd drive 12-hour days, then spend nights calling shippers, offering to undercut broker fees. Slowly, customers trusted him, because he didn't just drive, he delivered on time, every time. Within 2 years, Morrison Freight grew to 5 trucks. Jake hired a couple of fellow drivers he trusted from the road. Instead of treating them like expendable labor, he paid fairly, gave bonuses, and even offered profit sharing. Word spread fast. Drivers wanted to work for Jake. 3. Crisis and opportunity. In 2020, the pandemic shook the trucking world. Rates crashed, companies folded. Jake faced ruin, but where others saw disaster, he saw opportunity. He pivoted his fleet into essential goods delivery, food, medical supplies. While other carriers collapsed, Morrison Freight trucks kept rolling. By the end of that year, his fleet had doubled. Jake invested in software to optimize routes, cut fuel costs, and track deliveries in real time. What started as one old rig now looked like a modern logistics company. 4. The breakthrough. In 2022, a Fortune 500 retailer reached out with a regional shipping contract. It was risky. Jake would need to scale to 50 trucks in under 6 months. Bankers laughed at the idea of lending to a trucker with a dream. So Jake bet everything. He mortgaged his house, convinced local investors, and struck a deal with a truck manufacturer for delayed payments. The gamble paid off. Morrison Freight delivered flawlessly, winning not just the contract but a reputation. By 2023, Jake's company was valued at over $50 million. 5. The man behind the wheel. Despite the success, Jake still kept his first truck, the battered Peterbilt he had started with. Sometimes he'd take it out on the highway, just to remind himself where it all began. Reporters asked him the secret to his rise. He always said the same thing. I never stopped being a trucker. I just learned to own the road instead of working for someone else. 6. Epilogue. Jake Morrison, once a small-town truck driver, became a logistics mogul. He built warehouses, invested in new technology, and even funded scholarships for truckers' kids. His story spread across the trucking community as proof that wealth in America didn't always come from Ivy League diplomas or Silicon Valley startups. Sometimes it came from a man behind the wheel, chasing miles and building an empire out of grit, risk, and an unbreakable work ethic. And so the highways that once carried Jake's loneliness now carried his fortune.